Stop scrolling for this one because Angela Simmons just dropped a bombshell that nobody saw coming. For months, fans had been quietly speculating, watching her Instagram stories, scanning her captions, and noticing the subtle shift in her energy. The couple content slowed down. The matching outfits disappeared. Those over-the-top declarations of love that Yo Gotti used to proudly post on his page, gone. At first, people chalked it up to busy schedules, to Angela being a mom, to Yo Gotti being on the road doing shows. But deep down, everyone knew something felt different. And then came the confirmation. Angela finally said it out loud. The relationship was over. But what shocked people wasn't just the breakup. It was the way she said it. She looked into the cameras, her voice cracked, her eyes glassy with tears, and admitted the words that nobody was prepared for. This was not by choice. Think about that for a second. She didn't say they grew apart. She didn't say they mutually agreed to move on. She didn't even say she was choosing a new path for herself. She said it wasn't her choice, which means one thing: someone else made the decision. And that someone was almost certainly Yo Gotti, the man who had spent years rapping about her, crushing on her publicly, manifesting her love like it was a prize written in the stars, was suddenly the same man who walked away. For Angela, that revelation shattered the fairy tale that fans thought they had been watching unfold in real time. Because remember, this wasn't just another celebrity couple. This was supposed to be the happy ending, the dream-chasing story come true. For Yo Gotti to be the one to let it slip away, it left fans stunned, confused, and desperate to understand what really happened behind the scenes. To understand the weight of Angela's words, you have to rewind. For years, Yo Gotti made no secret of his feelings for her. He rapped about her in songs. He name-dropped her in interviews. He declared to the world that Angela Simmons was his dream girl. It became almost a running joke in hip-hop culture. Gotti was never shy about wanting Angela. Fans rooted for him, laughed with him, and secretly hoped that one day, against all odds, he'd actually get the girl. And then it happened. After years of persistence, Angela finally let him in. When they went public, it felt like destiny. Social media exploded with excitement. They posted vacation pics on yachts, red carpet appearances and designer looks, luxury cars, late-night date nights. They weren't just a couple. They were a statement. Love, success, wealth, chemistry, they had it all. People called it the ultimate glow-up story, the proof that manifestation works. Yo Gotti, the rapper who had once been laughed at for pining after a woman out of his league, had manifested the dream into reality. And Angela, who had guarded her heart after years of public heartbreak, seemed to finally relax into a love that felt safe, proud, and celebrated. But fairy tales, even the most glamorous ones, can crack. At first, it was subtle. Angela stopped posting him as much. Fans noticed the missing couple photos. Interviews showed her smiling, but not with the same sparkle. Rumors trickled in about Gotti being distracted, pulled in different directions, juggling the demands of music, fame, and nightlife. Insiders whispered about lifestyle clashes. Angela is a mother. Her son and her business empire anchor her in responsibility. Gotti lives the life of a rapper: late nights, constant travel, surrounded by a different kind of energy. For a while, opposites attracted. But over time, the differences stopped being exciting and started being exhausting. People around them wondered, could they really balance two completely different worlds under one roof? Then came Angela's bombshell. In a raw, emotional sit-down, she admitted the relationship was over. She didn't name names. She didn't spill every detail. But she did say the 5 words that hit harder than anything else. It was not by choice. Those words landed like a punch to the gut because they told the world this wasn't a mutual decision. Angela didn't want this to end, which begged the obvious question: why would Yo Gotti, after pursuing her so publicly for so long, be the one to let it go? Fans rushed online, desperate for answers. Angela's pain was visible, her heartbreak unfiltered. Meanwhile, Yo Gotti stayed silent. No statement, no explanation, no public acknowledgement beyond a few cryptic Instagram posts. One about loyalty, another about self-focus. And that silence spoke louder than words. In the age of social media, where every breakup usually comes with a subtweet or a notes app confession, his silence was deafening. To some, it was proof of guilt that he had done something wrong and couldn't face the backlash. To others, it was a form of protection, letting Angela tell her truth without interfering, choosing dignity over drama. But silence, especially when paired with cryptic posts, only fueled more speculation. Fans started digging. Some swore there were whispers about other women. Others insisted the relationship buckled under the pressure of public expectations. Being a celebrity couple is exhausting. Every post is analyzed, every absence noticed, every smile questioned. Living under a microscope can turn even the strongest bond fragile. And Angela's history only made this moment cut deeper. She's been through heartbreak before. She lost her fiancé years ago in a tragic shooting. She's raised her son as a single mother, juggling fame and family while the world watched. She knows pain. She knows resilience. So when she opened her heart, again, especially to someone who had begged for her love in songs and interviews for years, fans thought maybe this time would be different. That's why her honesty admitting she didn't want this breakup hit like lightning. Social media exploded with empathy. Women in particular connected to her story. They wrote posts about being pursued, being promised the world, only to be left behind once they finally gave in. One viral TikTok summed it up with a single line: "Imagine being the dream girl he begged for and he still didn't choose you." That line alone racked up millions of views because it touched a nerve. Angela wasn't just another celebrity experiencing heartbreak. She became a mirror for countless women who had lived through the same painful contradiction. Meanwhile, Yo Gotti's supporters felt betrayed too. They remembered how he celebrated her in lyrics, how he bragged about finally getting the girl. For him to walk away without a fight didn't make sense. Fans wanted answers. They wanted closure. But instead, all they got was silence sprinkled with mysterious Instagram captions and maybe a bar or two in a freestyle that could or could not have been about her. The lack of clarity only made the heartbreak more addictive for fans. It became like a reality show with no final episode, just endless speculation. Was it cheating? Was it ego? Was it lifestyle clashes? Or was it something darker that we may never know? And through it all, Angela showed strength. She cried, yes. She admitted she didn't want it to end, yes. But she also stood tall. She talked about refocusing on her son, her peace, her empire. She didn't beg. She didn't chase. She didn't go on Instagram live to air dirty laundry. That quiet resilience only amplified the support she received. Fans began treating her like the main character in a heartbreak anthem, a woman hurt but not broken, disappointed but not destroyed. In a culture obsessed with curated images, Angela's raw honesty felt refreshing, even inspiring. Yo Gotti, on the other hand, faded into the shadows. The man who once loudly manifested her, who rapped about her before they were even together, suddenly had nothing to say. Was he heartbroken too, suffering in silence? Or was he cold, detached, moving on without looking back? Did he fumble the bag, walk away from the very woman he once called his dream? Or was he protecting her from something bigger, something fans might never know? That's the unanswered twist. This wasn't just any celebrity romance. This was the romance fans invested in, the one that felt like proof that love stories could leap from lyrics to real life. It was destiny, timing, fate at least. That's what people believed. Now, instead of a happy ending, fans are left with silence and unanswered questions. Was it betrayal, secrets, or just two people who looked perfect together but couldn't align behind the scenes? That's the thing about curated love stories. They shine bright on Instagram until the cracks show in real life. For now, Angela's honesty has made her stronger in the eyes of fans. She didn't just give us heartbreak. She gave us a lesson in resilience. And Yo Gotti's silence? That remains the mystery. Maybe one day he'll tell his side. Maybe he won't. But what this breakup proved is that even the loudest love stories, the ones that light up social media like fireworks, can end in the quietest of goodbyes. And sometimes the fairy tales that inspire us most are the ones that leave the deepest scars when they fall apart.